also talk to you about what it's like to be married to someone who is well known as Marty Marty.
I have to say, you're
because
very
he
public.
is well known, right?
Yeah, but not only as I mean, you're known as a couple. I mean, publicly, I don't know a lot of the, besides Michelle Obama, First Ladies, a lot of us in Brooklyn know of Jaime Markowitz.
If it was up to me, she'd be a lot more active and present in Brooklyn.
Really?
And also, if I don't go with you, I'd never see you.
Right.
That's a good point, right?
Right. So that could be part of the pros and cons. Like, well, what have you experienced?
Well, I was 41 when I got married, and I was a loner. I had my own hobbies. I had my own friends. I never went out. And I remember my brother saying, "You're never going to meet anyone. You have to go out. You're going to just like die alone in your apartment." And now I meet Marty. We're never home.
Right. So how do you maintain your personal identity being married to such a public?
Well, I'm happy to stay home during.
You still are.
Let me tell you something. She has eBay. She has her collection.
Flea market.
Her
I love
flea
markets,
marketing,
antique shows,
and all the jewelry that she loves to. She specializes in pre-World War II Mexican and American Indian silver jewelry.
Wow.
And there are thousands and thousands of Michiganders across the country that have the exact same interest as she has, and so that occupies a good part of her time, her eBay searches, I can assure you.
But that's your Marty. What about your career? Like as a,
but Marty and Jaime, what about the fact that you have worked with Marty on some of his initiatives and some of his programs, like Take Your Man to the Doctor? Maybe you can touch a little bit on, or the logo, or
what, Valentine's
Day. Valentine's Day. You've been involved.
Because my background is as a graphic designer, as an art director. So I've helped with your street signs, your Brooklyn pins.
Right.
Right.
I designed. Marty wanted something.
And you designed Borough Hall.
Designed the logo, right? Did you redesign?
No, but actually what I'm proudest of, that probably none of you know about, in Borough Hall there are many paintings, lots of portraits of people, and no one knows who any of these people are.
19th century officials.
Okay, so what I've done with the help of the Brooklyn Historic Society and the Brooklyn Museum is I've now identified all the portraits. We had a lot of them restored with the Brooklyn Museum. I've designed plaques that are now attached to all the portraits. So if you now come to Borough Hall, you can read a little biography on every portrait in Borough Hall.
Now, I think you had a quick point that you wanted to make.
We were talking before you came in about powerful couples and political couples and the Edwards and Hillary Clinton. We were wondering about the unfairness, or I was wondering about the unfairness that really exists in political couples that are addressed to them, that go on among, that the public looks at.
The media.
I have to say that over the course of my being borough president, I was a senator before, state senator, and Jaime and I were married 2 years. During the time I was a senator, as borough president, there's been very little involvement by the press into our relationship, except save one time when I think the Daily News overstepped their bounds, in my humble opinion, when Jaime and I were guests at the Brooklyn Museum fundraiser, and there was a Japanese artist there, and they had on each table, they had placemats. Plastic placemats that if I had been there without Jaime, I would have left for anyone, because to me they would look like junk, I have to tell you, Formica junk. But nonetheless, people that are artists like Jaime recognize that this artist, and everyone at our table said, you know what, we don't want them. So Jaime took them because they gave it to them. And then on the way out of the museum, the blogger said, how come I want what you have.
Give me some placemats.
So whatever he said, I'm going to report you. And unfortunately, the life we lead, now the Daily News had a full-page story on page 2 that she was walking out,
devoted to this incident?
stealing the
placemats
that are worth $1,000 each. Is that what they were saying?
Right.
Anyway, whatever the case might be, the problem in a profession like mine, as it relates to press today,
Right.
is that anyone can call and say, Marty Markowitz did this, and the New York Post or the Daily News will cover it without any verification, with no fact. They couldn't care. That is the state, unfortunately, of where we have come today. And that's...
You've had that with your trip recently.
And I have to tell you that for those out there, now I'm not at the beginning of my career anymore, Devorah. I'm not saying at the end, but you know, I'm
Somewhere in the middle.
I'm well on my road.
right, in the middle.
But for
In the
younger
middle.
people that are considering going into this career, I'm concerned that some of the best and brightest, when they see the way that you're treated in public life too often,
the abuse.
you know what
The
they say, you know
scrutiny,
what,
the scrutiny.
it's not worth it. It's
No.
not worth
Right.
it.
The scrutiny.
You know, and I happen to believe that public service is the noblest profession one can go into, really. And I don't regret a day, not a day.
You're the
It's
most
only-
extraordinary
it's only
public
when,
official
It's only
that we
when, in
have.
my opinion, there's an important role for newspapers in our society, God bless them, where they can expose corruption, and that's their job.
do
There's
what
no
they
question
should
about
do.
it.
That is
But
their
then,
job, too.
That is their-
increasingly, maybe because of the competition, maybe because newspapers are under challenge, I don't know what it is.
Right.
But more and more, especially the tabloids, their attitude is get them. That's
They're
the
searching
attitude.
for
So
something.
now, when the press calls me, in the past I was thrilled to speak to them. Now, I have to put them on hold and ask my staff, did I say something wrong? Did we mess up? Did I make a misstatement? What's going on? There must be a reason. They're not calling me. They're calling me because something
Something's
happened
wrong.
that we did wrong.
Well,
So
you know what?
unfortunately,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be that way. That's what it's
That
become
won't
too often.
be happening on BK.
No, I know that.
We're going to have to break. We're
I
going
know.
to have to
But-
break for just a minute, and then we'll be right back.